This is it. This is the long-awaited ultimate Apex guide. I put literally everything I could ever think of in here. I put my blood, sweat, and tears in here. This is gonna be a banger. Let's get into it. Game sense is the backbone of every competitive game. You need game sense to be able to figure out what the right play and what the right situation is. All game sense is prior knowledge of past experiences that make you more likely to win the next one. In layman's terms, go fail a lot and then you will know better next time. So how do you train game sense? You have to go out there and fail. But when you do fail, be critical of yourself. Did I fail because I swung too wide? Did I have the wrong gun loadout for this situation? Did I wait for my teammates to walk in? Did I need more entry damage? Things like that. Game sense comes with experience, so you just need to get out there and play. Mechanical skill is how good you are at the movement / gun skill in a shooter. Someone with high mechanical skill would be Asu, Genburn, etc. Mechanical skill can set you apart when practiced enough. How do you train mechanical skill? There are a couple different ways. One is aim trainers, Kovacs, and aim labs to build muscle memory and practice smooth aim, random scenarios, etc. 2 is lots of in-game practice. You need to go into games thinking, today I'm going to practice my 301 and focus on having smooth beams. That way you hyper-focus on getting your aim good with that gun specifically. It doesn't matter what else happens, as long as you're practicing a specific playstyle or gun, you will improve overall faster. Third and final way is to focus on movement tech. An important part of mechanical skill is how optimal you move around when you are playing. A term I like to use is moving with efficiency, not using any wasted inputs, running straight for too long, doing just enough so you don't expose yourself to one angle or option for too long. This probably takes the longest because you don't really master it until you're at a high level of skill. A good example of efficient movement is Stormin. Doesn't ever swing too wide, tap strafes a lot, and most importantly doesn't so overexpose himself in situations too much. You need to be willing to fail and learn while you're failing to actually improve. Let me lay out a scenario. There's two people who are both going to play 1,000 hours of a video game. One of them is dedicated and is willing to become the best no matter what it takes, and the other wants to be good but doesn't care how he does it and has no plan. Who do you think will end up learning more? Definitely the first guy. You have to be open to failure to be also open to success. It goes hand in hand. So if you want to get good, play the game and suck at it. One tip I give a lot of people for trying to get better is watch pro players. These guys have already mastered the game down to a science. So if you want to see what you're doing wrong, watch how they play and think, yeah, I don't do that when I swing, do I? I kind of just swing really wide every time. Or, oh, I see that this guy is going for chip damage before he pushes in all the time instead of just full aping when they all have 200 HP. You can learn infinite amounts of knowledge from these pro players. So if you are trying to learn, watch like a pro player for like 10-20 minutes, you know? You can learn a lot from them. Understanding when a fight is good is hard, but here are some key things to think about when approaching a fight. Do I know this is the only team nearby, or will this fight get me thirded? If the answer is yes, there's another team close, then you shouldn't fight at all. It's not worth fighting if another team is close, because no matter how well you win it, you will still have to fight another full 3-man that is healthy. Do we really need to take this fight at all? If the answer is no, then just leave. Not all fights are worth it. If you have KP, then just leave. No point in risking your game for a 3v3 that doesn't do anything for you. If you are low on heals or have an armor advantage and the team is by themselves, then the fight is definitely not worth it. The main thing you should be thinking is, are we going to get thirded? Is our loot better than theirs? And is this fight even worth it? When you think about those things, fights should start going way smoother. Y'all got that one friend who just wide swings into a full team every fight. Don't be like him. When you are fighting, there are unspoken rules you need to follow to higher your chances of success. If it's a fair 3v3, then just play as a team and try to get entry damage. You can look for a pick, but don't be overly risky. There's no need to be risky when it's even ground for both sides. If you are losing and it's 2v3 or your team is all broken shields and they're full, then you can start doing risky stuff. When you're down a man, being safe isn't going to make you come back. You need to start isolating 1v1s and trying to bring the man advantage down and higher your chance of winning. If you're winning a fight, play safe. You already have numbers, so don't give them 1v1s. You want to make them fight you as a team so it's impossible for them to 2v3. A mistake I see a lot of people make is when they're up numbers, they swing out to make a hero play, then get punished and end up losing. You have to play your advantage to ensure you win. So rule of thumb, if it's a 3v3, try to be safe but also get entry damage. If you're down, start being risky to come back. And if you're up, play as a team to make sure you can't lose and don't do solo stuff. Playing doors is a key part of Apex Legends. What you should be thinking while fighting is where's the nearest door to reset on, because it's the only guaranteed safe spot in the entire map. A door gives you time to reset and is impenetrable unless they have a rampage that's charged up or a rampart turret. When playing on a door, you should be thinking two things. When do I need to open this, and when do I need to leave and run away? If you are being chased to then get to a door, you should immediately pop a battery on the door, then look to slide away or fight. If you are on a door but are healthy, you can do things like mix up on on it. You can fake like you're running away, then come back when they open it. Sometimes holding a grenade on your hand is enough to make them run away from the door. If someone is popping a battery and you're chasing them, always kick once to apply pressure. And if you're sure you're going to win the fight, then kick again. A lot of people tend to walk out in the open and not think, where's the next place I can play on. Playing cover significantly increases your chance of winning a fight. You can also mix up on cover by peeking over, then stop peeking, making the other person think you're not going to peek again, then you re-peek and catch them running in the open. The person with cover always has the advantage in a fight, so you should be looking to play something in every fight and not just be in the open. What you should be thinking while running around the map is, where is the next piece of cover I can run to? When approaching a fight, you shouldn't be in the open trying to force a 1v1. Every fight should be methodical. I'm going to swing this because XYZ. I'm going to play tucked because they have a Craver. The goal isn't to overshow to an enemy unless you are already winning or he's in a disadvantage. When trying to clear space to get to an enemy, try to make the safest route or get entry damage first. Don't just run at them. Break their shields, then run or use cover to cross over to them. This way you don't give the enemy team free entry damage. This is pretty important. All great players know this is the key to winning fights. When working a pick, you should be wary of if it's the right play or not. Normally a person who does this is on the entry frag legends such as Wraith, Horizon, Bangalore, etc. When you're looking for an entry frag, don't just run up and try to get one. Think to yourself, if I peek this, does this seem good for me? If it does, then run with the play and see how it works. Plays should be thought out prior and not just be on a whim. Rule of thumb for working a pick is, if it seems good, then do it. And if it seems shit, then it's probably shit. Don't throw your game trying to be a hero. Be smart about how you're going for the first kill in a fight. Tap strafing is rebinding your W input to your mouse scroll wheel to make the game detect multiple W inputs. To tap strafe, you have to press scroll wheel jump and then scroll wheel W. And then after that you press A, S, or D to give yourself a direction to tap strafe into. Without tap strafing bound, you can't redirect as hard and can't make those sharp turns. This tech is the most useful one out of all the techs, as it can give you unpredictable movement and gives you a crazy advantage in fights. Wall bouncing is hitting jump as soon as you are on a wall, then when you make contact with the wall you are able to wall bounce. And this can be done at the peak of your jump or on the way down. Wall bouncing is good for mix-ups and to get over walls instantly. Normally you'd have to mantle walls, which is a for sure death sentence if the enemy is close, but with wall bouncing you can just clear a full wall instead. Super gliding is the hardest tech out of all of them because the window for execution is very low. You can super glide by mantling an object, pressing jump, holding crouch, then pressing jump again at the right frame to get the super glide. So the input is jump, let go, hold crouch, jump again. Super gliding is probably the hardest tech to learn out of all of them, but it's super worth it once you get it down. A super zip jump is a jump but with scroll wheel input. You super jump by using scroll wheel jump to give the game the idea of multiple W inputs. Then your character goes a lot higher than normal. Super jumping is very strong in buildings with zip lines and it's a key tech for any bald Wraith mains. Taking a zip line is very risky, so super jumping bypasses the zip line animation and still gives you tons of height. You can jump up like basically 2 floors doing this. Jitter aiming is basically just shaking your mouse. That's literally all there is to it. The science to it is by shaking your mouse a certain amount, you bypass the recoil in the game, which gives you practically 0 recoil. This is best used with the Flatline, Devotion, Havoc, etc. It's mainly used with the Flatline because it's the only gun that really has a recoil. The key to solo queuing successfully in Apex Legends is knowing your limits. When you play, you're going to be the best on your team 100% of the time, so knowing that, you have to play accordingly. You have to make plays in order for your team to win, but if you are too risky while doing that, you end up throwing the game. If you don't try and make a play, your team can't win a gunfight, so you're gonna lose. You have to find a balance between carrying your team and not throwing. You also have to work with your team as much as possible, play off of them. If they aren't that aggressive, you're gonna have to play to their tempo. The more you work with your team, the more chance you have of winning. I would suggest to not fight as much and play for zone. Trying to fight the entire lobby as a solo queue team is basically impossible, so it's best to get 1 or 2 squad wipes and play for endgame. Legends that are best for solo queuing are scan legends like Seer or Bloodhound, so you can give your team info during fights. Mobile legends are also good so you don't get traded out when fighting. You have to play your life insanely hard, so mobility is key when solo queuing. When you go down, you lose. When playing for end zones, you need to think of a few things. Is this the best spot? Will this spot get me contested? What will we do if our spot ends up sucking? You should try to play for the best spot possible. If the best spot isn't open, play for the next best spot, then the next best spot, and so on and so forth. If zone pulls away and your spot ends up being bad, you just need to make the best decision you can to get in zone again. Either you need to make a play immediately or third party other people being risky. The key to endgames is patience. People will be doing risky things to try and get a spot, so if you're patient, you will have opportunities to win or get in zone. Here's a tip for a 3-team endgame situation. When there's 3 teams alive endgame, don't full commit to any fights, because if you do, the other team will third you for free and win. So the goal is to not get any of the aggro if possible. Pick the spot that gives you the best chance at winning for free. If you see one team getting focused, try to help the team that is losing so you can clean up both of them for free. Having this knowledge makes me win so many endgames. Center your crosshair when you fight. Start aiming more horizontally and not so much vertically. Try and keep your crosshair as center as possible. I've noticed that when you focus on recentering your crosshair but horizontally, you tend to stay on target way more often. Ever watched a crackhead MnK player? That's exactly what they're doing. Aiming like this makes you way more consistent and will definitely help you frag. The best way to gain RP is to play for endgame. There is no more consistent consistent way than that. Get a squad wipe or two early game, then go end game into the best spot possible and play for the win. If you run around and take unnecessary early fights, you are just risking your chance of winning the game. The less risk you take, the more chances you have to win. It sounds so dumb saying that out loud, but you'd be surprised how many people need to hear that. Also, playing meta legends and using meta guns will increase your chance by a lot too. I'm talking to you, Mirage main who only uses alternator. These are in my opinion the strongest legend combos right now. Gibby, Caustic, Valkyrie, Seer, Maggie, Valkyrie, Crypto, Wattson, Valkyrie. Basically anything with Valkyrie because she's very strong. What makes Gibby Caustic comp strong is that it's two big boys that have insane utility, so you just kill everyone with all of your utility. You don't even really gotta shoot your gun. Seer Mad Maggie Valk is a new comp people have been playing and is very strong. The point of this comp is to be a team fighting comp. Since you excel in fighting, that's what you should be doing because playing defensive isn't good for this comp. Crypto Wattson Valk is a very defensive comp. Use Crypto Drone to scan beacon wall and zone and you can set it up in the building you're sitting at for a defensive EMP. Wattson also is a very defensive legend, so this comp is very strong in holding good spots in zone. The point of Valkyrie in all these comps is that she's a get out of jail free card for when you need to fly over people or go distances fast. If you're the type of person who likes playing passive or support, then Gibby, Wattson, Caustic, Crypto, Bloodhound, Seer, Newcastle, and Valkyrie would be best for you. If you like being aggressive and swing things a lot, then Wraith, Horizon, Bangalore, Pathfinder, and Octane will be good for you. If you enjoy hating your life and don't want to have any fun, then Lifeline is your best option. I never thought I could play Gibby and only ever played entry frag legends for a long time, but I eventually gave Gibby a try and now he's my main legend. So if I can recommend anything, it's to try different playstyles and legends and see what works for you. You never know what character you may like. Alright, now I'm going to be talking about some meta gun loadouts to use in Apex. Wingman is amazing at range and you can jiggle peek corners and use it up close like a shotgun too. The Wingman covers ranged fights while the car excels up close, so you have no range weakness with this loadout. R301 PK or any AR PK loadout is a staple of Apex. Your AR covers all ranged engagements and can be used up close as well, while your PK covers bubble fights and close ranged fights. This is another loadout with no reek range. Both of these guns excel at their respective range and is an S tier loadout. These are all very strong poke guns. Snipers should often be coupled with the SMG to cover the mid to close range engagements. Charge Rifle Car is a very good loadout, but the one downside of Sniper SMGs, you can't really fight mid range, just far and close. Still a very strong loadout regardless. What's up guys, I'm going to teach you guys how to be able to read zones. There are two things you need to think about when looking at a zone. What is not playable and has a low chance, and what is the highest chance of being in. So I'm going to put a blue square for every spot that is not possible to end on. As you can see, all these really big rocks, any buildings type of thing like this, it has 0% chance. It can't end on these rocks. It's unplayable. So everything that's not a blue square is possible to end on. So that's one piece to the puzzle. So you know what you can't play, so you shouldn't be thinking of any of those things, right? So now you're thinking, okay, well, what has the highest chance of being an endgame? So we have Wall that has all of this in over here. We have Stormcatcher and Thunderwatch that has like this kind of area over here. Some down here, the beacon area down here. Then I have to think, what is the most likely possible pull? So one possible pull is that a pull is hard back to a command center outside of it by the beacon area. That is one possible pull. Another possible pull is all the way down to Stormcatcher, down here by the right hand side. And Thunderwatch is also one of the possible pulls. The point is that there is many possibilities to where it can end. You have to use the tips I'm showing you to give your best guess of where it could end. Which one is the most likely? Normally where the highest amount of zone is in is the best chance. I would say that Stormcatcher / like Thunderwatch, this is like the majority of the circle compared to like, you see how outside of command center doesn't have as much space to be played? That's a lot less space than Stormcatcher and Thunderwatch, whereas there's a lot more open space here, here, up here too, down here. I would say Stormcatcher Thunderwatch is the most likely pull for this zone. And that's kind of what I think about when I'm looking for endgames in Apex Legends. Alright, now we're going to talk about legend playstyles and what makes them good. Ashe is aggressive. Her arc snare is very strong and can nab you kills if used correctly. Combining arc snare with grenades can be very good as well. Her TP is the best part of her kit. You can TP your entire team instantly to height or to a different spot. I'd say she's just a way more situational Wraith. She can be good, but in general she's just kind of meh. Bangalore is a fragger legend. What's best on Bang is SMGs and shotguns, so you can put digithreats on them to combo with her smoke. She's perfect for entry fragging because of her double time passive and smoke ability. It is really hard to get traded if you're playing her abilities correctly. Her ultimate is amazing at taking space and pushing people people off of height. Her smokes are very good because you can cut off line of sight from people and smoke you and your team off for cover. Bloodhound is a support legend. Legit, just scan and don't die. It actually doesn't get any more complex than that. Well, actually, there is one tip I could think of for Bloodhound. When running around, make sure you're scanning things that you're going to go into. Don't just press Q every time it's on cooldown, because you're going to be scanning things that you're not actually going to clear anyway. You should be holding your scan when you know you need it. Caustic is the only defensive and aggressive legend. His barrels are very strong to hold buildings with, but his Caustical is insanely strong to fight with. You normally play him both ways, it just depends on how the match is going. If your goal is to not let a team inside your building, put barrels on the doors to block them from being opened up. If you don't care if a team comes inside and you'd be down to fight them, just put barrels on the sides of the doors so when people walk in they don't realize there's a barrel there and get hit by it. I'd say Caustic is the best defensive legend in the game, so if you like to never die, this is literally your bread and butter. If your goal is to just play zone and win every game, then Caustic is a character you should be playing. Crypto is a odd legend because he's a stationary character in a very mobile, fast-paced game. He's def a support legend since you have to set up your drone in most scenarios for it to really work. I'd say the best part about him is leaving drone in a building then popping your ult when a team walks by. He's a very good character for getting info with his drone, but he doesn't offer much utility besides that. Fuse is aggressive. His cluster grenade is very good for pressure for pushing people out of buildings or cover. His ultimate can checkmate people if they're in a bad spot, and once you're in it, you're basically stuck there. The only problem with Fuse is he is more annoying than he is practical. On paper he should be oppressive, but in reality he's not. Kinda just goofy. Like me. Gibby is a support legend. You should be cover firing for your team, playing your life as much as you can. The goal of Gibby is to always be last one knocked so you can bubble res your team. A unnoticed key part of Gibby is to be standing when fighting. On any other legend it's normal to be sliding around and shooting. On Gibby you should always be standing and walking when fighting because that's when arm shield is most effective. Think of him like a big turret. Gibby has an interesting concept about him where shotguns are OP on him. He has an arm shield which gives him the whole PK shot more health, and bubble where the best way to fight on it is with the shotgun. With that being said, Peacekeeper is a necessity on Gibraltar. Horizon is an entry frag character. What makes her strong is the ability to throw 2 arc stars with her ultimate to break all 3 people in it if done correctly. Another cool tip is when throwing Horizon ult, try throwing it next to a wall instead of just on them, that way they can't break it but it still sucks them in. A unique thing about Horizon is her passive. It makes her unreadable with her movement since there is no delay on landing. You can use this to mix up your movement and make it unpredictable. You should be very aggressive on this legend and when you get into a rough spot, using her lift to get out. Her best playstyle is a trick I learned a while ago. You press escape, go to exit to main menu, and then go pick a real character. 100% success rate. Loba is a defensive character. What is best for her is to sit in zone and loot the death boxes of the teams around you. What makes her great is no matter how bad your loot is, as long as you have Loba ult up, you can get out of poverty and get looted again. Her bracelet is an okay mobility ability, say that 5 times, but it doesn't even work half the time. They must have got a bracelet out of one of those quarter things you get at the store. You put a quarter in and get a little ball back. Mad Maggie has also recently become popular. She's a very aggressive legend and is a Gibby counter with her drill that can shoot through Gibby domes. Her ultimate lets you run down teams even harder than normal and it can stun enemies if it hits them. This legend just sends it down mid so she's very aggressive. The best part about Maggie is her drill. You can use it to break doors and apply a lot of pressure too. Her drill is really what separates a good Maggie from a bad Maggie. Make sure you're shooting it at Gibby domes, doors, through walls to apply pressure, etc. I bet Mirage mains are coming to my video like, my dearest, please allude to how you're supposed to play my sweet, sweet Mirage. Please do tell. I don't know, bro. You throw decoys and be a dork. Like, isn't that what you guys do? Oh, make it work. The only saving grace about Mirage is his ultimate is kind of like Wraith Q. Just use it before you're in trouble, not after. Newcastle is a support legend. He can be aggressive with using his ultimate to take space or running up to a team than using your Q as cover. I'd say he's just a worse Gibby at the moment. His kit can be useful, but Gibby is almost better in every way. The one thing about Newcastle that is very nice is that his wall is permanent. If you like Gibby, you will also like this legend's playstyle. Octane is very aggressive. His stem allows you to close distance and chase people down, and his jump pad gets places fast but is very loud. Octane is very good if you are focused on 1v1s. His stem makes it hard to trade him out since he can get out so fast. The downside is, even though stem will help you win fights, a lot of the time taking 15 damage in a fight is like downgrading one armor type. So if you have perp, you're pretty much putting yourself at blue armor level health. Pathfinder is very aggressive. What makes him so strong is his ability to engage and disengage with his grapple. The downside being the cooldown is very long to use grapple if you recently used it. When used right, you can play your life super hard in this legend. If your playstyle is to poke at people and never die, this is your guy. Pathfinder's grapple is best for off angles. You're normally grapple far out to like a solo rock or something, so people have to worry about you on the left so they can't walk over that way. Also, try not to max out his cooldown if possible. Try to do short-ish graps when you are doing your grapples. use. The zipline is also insanely niche, but it can take your team all to high ground at once, and it is pretty quiet. I've also seen people do some crazy zipline plays like Caution. Rampart is very defensive. She is best when set up in a position already waiting for people to approach her. If you like Wattson, Caustic, etc., you will also like Rampart. Her turret is really good for breaking doors with because people almost never expect it. If you like Fortnite, then just play Rampart. I would say Rampart is best when already set up, so you don't want to be fighting people on the fly. You want to be setting up your shield and then fighting people if possible. How do you play Revenant? Don't. Just kidding. With Revenant, the most important tip to play him correctly is to put Totem in a place that's not going to get you killed. Octane being on the team also makes this legend way more viable. I would say his character is like a double-edged sword, because yeah, pushing a team with Rev ulti is pretty nice, but you're almost always going to get camped on your Totem. Seer has become recently strong. He is definitely a support legend. What makes him strong is his ability to cancel revives and heals during fights. You can checkmate people super hard with this Q. His ultimate ability is just a better Bloodhound scan, but that's really all he does. Scan legends are very straightforward, but that's what makes him strong. The biggest tip for Seer is to stop using Q before the fight starts. Use your Seer Q to cancel batteries or heals, or to cancel a res when you get a knock. Don't just throw it out all the time. Valkyrie is a support legend. What makes her strong is her ability to Valkyrie anywhere and take her team across the map in an instant. She is a necessity in team comps right now. I would say she's a S tier legend, so a must pick. Her rockets are also very strong and can stun a team like an Arcstar does. When using Valkyrie's rockets, you should be trying to push people out of cover and do damage. The purpose of Valkyrie is to take you past people who may potentially be holding you out. So if you're in a bad spot, just Valkyrie to get past them. Her rockets are super slept on. Her jetpacks can be good, but they're very situationally good. You can go instantly from bottom floor to the second or third where others can't chase you. You should be passive on this legend and play your life. Wattson is very defensive. What makes her strong is the ability to fence up a building and show your presence to other teams. That way teams know there's already a team there and are less likely to mess with you. Her ultimate is very good for holding a spot that's normally not playable. Sometimes you could put Wattson ulti down on a roof, and while Gibraltar would normally make your team lose, now with Wattson you don't actually lose there. She's the same as Rampart, where she needs to be set up to be strong. Running around the open is her worst place to be. Wraith is an entry frag / mobility legend. On Wraith, your job is to be working picks for your teams and portaling them around safely. When using Wraith phase, it's better to use it sparingly. It's common to greed Wraith phase and die right before it goes off, so a good rule of thumb for Wraith is to use it before you're really in trouble, not during. Wraith portal is a good way to get a free off angle. This character has an overall very aggressive kit. You should be aggressive on this legend and playing around her phase ability. This was the hardest video I've ever made in my entire life. I am not gonna lie, I can't even believe I did this. I never thought I would make something this long, but here we are. Thank you guys for watching. If you did like this video, feel free to leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. I'd really appreciate it. So yeah, until next time, peace out guys.